Hello, and today I have 5 facts about dyslexia that may surprise you. And I can't wait to share this information with you. My name is Kathleen, and I'm a dyslexic here to help other dyslexics and parents figure out the easiest journey to make dyslexia manageable. There is so much information out there about dyslexia. Some of it is true, some of it is not, and there are lots of myths and lots of information. But today I wanted to jump on here and share 5 pieces of information about dyslexia that I have found to be true that have really helped me to better understand dyslexia. Dyslexia is a learning disorder that affects more than reading, writing, and spelling. It can also affect time management, organizational skills, rote memorization, and memory recall. That's right. It can affect so many different things. So when people talk about having dyslexia, most of the time it's just like, oh, you just can't read. That is not the case. In fact, it affects so many different things. And for me, the left-right confusion is there. It is hard to tell a difference. And most of the time I'm like, just go this way, just go that way. And it's easier for me than to do left, right. And I always have to figure out when I'm driving down the road, when people give me directions or the GPS, I'm always doing this to help me figure it out. And so that is one of those things that dyslexia affects way more than reading. Number 2 is dyslexia is believed to be caused by how our brain functions and processes information. It makes understanding written language very difficult. And so that includes reading, that includes writing, that includes spelling. And so it's just harder for our brain to process that information, which makes education very difficult. So we don't enjoy going to school. So when it's time to go back from Christmas, it is difficult. When it is time to come back after a long weekend, it is difficult. And even on Monday mornings, it's just difficult because we know that we are going to watch all of our peers learn this information quickly, and we are going to sit there and struggle and not understand what the teacher's talking about. And this is something that I dealt with for my entire education career. And it is hard. And so knowing that you're not the only one makes it easier when it comes to this, but knowing that education is just hard for us and we have to spend extra time learning the information that we need to keep up with our peers. Number 3 is that dyslexia is often inherited, and that research has proven that certain genes are associated with this condition. And unfortunately, they have found that it's not just one gene that it's associated with, that it's several. And so scientists are actually very frustrated with this because it's not just a quick fix that we can say, oh, it's on this gene, let's go fix it. It is found throughout, and they have found several places that it is. So it's very frustrating to scientists, just like it's dyslexia is frustrating to us because they can't pinpoint just one specific spot that it's at. It's actually affecting multiple places. Did you know that there are over 40 million individuals in the world with dyslexia? But the problem is only 2 million know it. So there are millions out there that struggle and have struggled through education, that struggle through work, that struggle every day, and they have no idea that they have dyslexia. So raising awareness and talking about it is the first key to helping all those millions of people that are struggling right now to better understand that they are not alone and that this is something that millions of individuals deal with on a daily basis. That over 50% of NASA employees have dyslexia. This one's been floating around for a while, and it took some time for it to sink in for me. But when you really stop and think about it, it really shows that we do struggle in education. We struggle to read, we struggle to write, and we struggle to do things. But when we have those struggles, we have natural strengths that come out in that we have learned that individuals with dyslexia are very smart, are very bright, and are able to think differently than everybody else. And through the way that our brains process information and we are able to think, we are able to process things differently. And through our amazing dyslexic brains, we have absolutely changed the world. So we have light bulbs because of dyslexic thinking. We have computers because of dyslexic thinking. We've pushed into space because of dyslexic thinking. We have changed the game, and most companies are starting to realize that they actually need to have individuals with dyslexia to be empowered in their company because it's going to push them forward. It's going to help with out of the box thinking. It's going to help with process improvements for them to come in and see how it is, because we can do an overview thinking. We can see the whole picture. And from that whole picture, we are able to bring in and able to simplify it and make it easier for ourselves and for everybody around us. So using this dyslexic thinking is actually an advantage to companies, and they're starting to realize this, and they're starting to recruit more individuals with dyslexia to give them the advantage to help them push into the future. So dyslexia thinking, it really is the way of the future. And so what we need to stop and think about is when it comes to education, we need to figure out a way to educate individuals with dyslexia to help them feel empowered from the very beginning, not the way we've been educating them from the past. It is one of those things that we need to stop and think about and not make us feel excluded and that we're not, that we can't do anything, because that's not the case. We are more than capable of doing anything that anybody else is. And in fact, we can do it differently. And we're slowly changing mindsets and how everybody views it and changing that mindset. So people are starting to view us as an absolute strength to have in companies. And when you also think about it, another bonus one is over 40% of millionaires are dyslexic because they figured out a way to make it work and to go on and help other people. So those are just some of the really fun facts about dyslexia to help us know this. And so if you found this information useful, I would love it if you would go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. But I also don't want to leave you with just that. If you are trying to figure out more about what dyslexia is, I have a new guide, which is called What is Dyslexia? And it has facts about dyslexia, myths about dyslexia, and information you need to better understand dyslexia now. And I'm going to link that in the description. So go ahead and grab it. It's completely free. And I can't wait to help you better understand dyslexia. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.